All right, Silverio, whenever you're ready. Oh, and we're on. Welcome to Be Here Now, the Peaceful Empowerment Work Show, where presence allows perspective and invites peace. We are live on the newstreamingnetwork.com, home of goingboldmedia.com, goingsolomedia.com, and WGSN-DB Going Solo Network Radio. I am your co-host, Judy Forder, and I am here with my co-host in peace, Miss
Janice Leonard.
Janice is back. And those of you that are watching, you can see we have a special guest this week, and it is Richard LaRocco. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Thank you for having me. Super excited.
We are very excited to have you here. Our topic today is finding peace in loss. But before we go there, we're going to go our regular segments. And in order for us to do that, we need to have Janice ring us in. Everybody take a deep Beautiful. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to roll right into our good news segment. Janice has a good news story for us today.
Gotta get all my sounds in.
There you go.
I love this. I love this one today. I have to tell you, it's funny. It really spoke to me. But I live in Vermont, so I'm not sure if it's like this for everybody. But it's also like this in Wisconsin. And that's what this is from. This is from Grand Chute, Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Clothing Company. This is their story. And it's calls 911 for aggressive turkeys. I hope you get a kick out of it like I do. Go ahead, Silverio.
Turkey attacking my cruiser. 3301 to 333, please take video. 10-4. He has no fear.
333, what's the 20?
I am on Evergreen at Hay Meadow in Grand Chute.
Or do you need backup units?
I don't know what they're going to do. 333 Fond du Lac. I tried to use my siren to steer him out of the road so he wouldn't get struck, and I think he took it as a challenge.
10-4.
Is he playing chicken with you? Yeah, 1040 is good. I'm trying to de-escalate. Currently negotiating. He is pecking at my tire.
10-4.
33. In a foot pursuit. Eastbound. Male. About 2 feet tall. Short beard.
10-4. 33, do you have the clothing description?
Mostly brown. Some red and white trim.
358 Fond du Lac. Does 333 need a 33 response?
333, do you need backup emergence for the turkey attack?
333 Fond du Lac. 1045.
Units on scene at the turkey attack, status check?
333 Fond du Lac. We're 10-2. If you're holding the towers for us, you can clear them. The citizens of the neighborhood have been advised to keep an eye out for the suspect and shelter in place.
So if you're anything like Vermont and apparently Wisconsin, there are huge flocks of turkeys everywhere you go, crossing the road, doing whatever. So the fact they made this is just a riot. I don't know. And if you've ever seen turkeys when they're being aggressive, it's funny.
I love the dispatcher. Her energy was like, do you need backup?
Oh, shoot. I love the citizens of the neighborhood has been advised to keep an eye out, and they're sheltering in place.
Oh, it's good that they have a sense of humor with it.
Yeah, gosh. Thank you so much, Wisconsin Clothing Company.
Excellent. All right. Bring us into the next segment, Janice.
Oh, I think that's when I'm supposed to do this one. Oh, no. I'm so confused with my thing. Here you go. Oh, hey. There you go.
There we go. And attitude is everything.
That's right. And my affirmations to today is, I am grateful for the love that I have in my life, and I'm open to receiving more. I trust in the power of love to guide me towards.
Oh, she froze. I trust in the power of love to guide me towards the right people and experiences. Okay,
I am attracting. Can you hear me now? I am attracting the kind of love and positivity that I truly desire. I like this one because I have a hard time accepting love and knowing that it's for me, it's for real. And that's my affirmation for this week.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Outstanding. Again, look at yourself in the eyes when you say these affirmations. Allow your subconscious to hear it, absorb it, and believe it. Awesome. All right. We're going to move ahead to tool time. All right. This week we're talking about learning to trust your intuition, which is perfect because we have an intuitive medium on the show. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time talking to you about that. I simply have this poem that I found early on when I started doing my own inner work and healing. And it was something that kept ringing through my head over and over again. So there is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long. I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No preacher, teacher, parent, friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside. So yeah, that was something that really just, I'm all about rhyming. And it was something that easily would flow through me when I would question. So, yeah.
That's
We're going to
beautiful.
get to more of that when we talk to Richard, though. So,
Yes.
We're going to fly forward to Pathways of Peace. And again, Mr. Richard LaRocco, I'm going to quickly go through your little bio here.
Okay.
Yes, finally. We're here with Reverend Richard LaRocco. He is an evidential intuitive medium. Richard is a heart-centered person. Yes, he sure is. That brings forth the essence of spirit in his messages, allowing a conversation of healing with your loved ones. He has been connected to spirit since a young age, but at 32 years old, his whole world changed when his mother passed away. He had a spiritual awakening, was able to communicate with his mother, and was led on a journey to fulfill his spiritual destiny. His personal philosophy is to follow his GBS, guided by spirit, and the world will open up to you. It is his passion to serve spirit, and he has devoted his life to individuals looking for peace through spiritual healing and the healing words of mediumship. It is his mission to assist others in recognizing their own gifts to heal themselves and the world. Richard is a spiritualist, an ordained minister through the Trilogy Institute and the City of Light Spiritualist Church in Lilydale, New York. He is a certified medium and healer, studying under teachers in Lilydale, New York. Richard is also a healer, speaker, and teacher. He offers personal readings and classes. He has been featured on the Travel Channel's Haunted Hospitals and is host of a Long Island talk show, talk radio, guided by spirit on 103.9 FM, which is taking a brief break right now. Richard resides in Lancaster, PA, with his fur children, Gia, Princess, Blue, and his wife, Ashley, walking the spiritual path together. Richard, again, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
We're so honored. Thank you.
Richard and I met quite a few years ago at a spiritual expo in Harrisburg. And he was interviewed on Journeys with Judy. And he's the man I recommend when anybody reaches out to me and says, hey, do you know anybody? I was like, I got a guy.
I know a guy. I got a guy for a guy. Yeah.
So when I reached out to Richard and asked if he would grace us with his presence on the show, he was like, absolutely, I'm there. Just tell me when. So thank you again. And I'm excited to introduce you to Janice.
Yes. Thank you, Janice, for those beautiful affirmations and, the sound energy and the vibration. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, I tell you, Judy introduced me to this, to a more concrete, my understandable for me, intuitive journey. And I really am so honored to have you here.
Well, thank you. I'm honored to be here.
All right. We're going to start with some nitty gritty background stuff. Like, where were you born and raised?
So I was born on Long Island, New York. Love Long Island. Then moved to Little Long Island, which was Fort Lauderdale. And then because everybody from there is from the Northeast, and went from Fort Lauderdale to Maryland and then Pennsylvania. And I absolutely love it. I am in Central PA in the Lancaster area. And I absolutely love where I am. Love it.
Outstanding.
Love it. Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
No, I'm an only child. I wouldn't want anybody to kind of walk through the steps I had to walk. So no, just me.
All right. What are some of your favorite childhood memories?
A lot of being loved and guided by my mom. She was probably the most influential person ever in my life. My memories go back to moments of her giving me strength and showing me what it's like to be strong. I had a really bad childhood, really horrible childhood. A part of it is I had to do a lot of healing from it, but the snippets I did take are my relationship with her being my best friend and her paving the way to kind of make a difference in this world. So honestly, that's just being it and transparent. I'm very transparent.
I mean, that response gave me goosebumps. So very real. So you said you had a very difficult childhood. Are there any of the challenges you'd like to talk about or no?
Sure. Why not? Because being transparent and kind of talking about your journey helps other people on their journey to understand they're not alone. So growing up in a very narcissistic household, kind of very abusive mentally, emotionally, dealing with a parent with addiction issues, and none of them were healthy at all. Having a parent, all same parent, right? Father figure, was basically not emotionally there at all. Had a very first job at 12. I was a busboy in an Italian restaurant. Had a full-time job at 8:15. Got paid under the table. Worked over 35 to 40 hours a week because I had to buy my own stuff. If I wanted something, I had to buy it. If I needed school clothes, I had to buy it. I had to buy my own food. I paid for electricity bills. I paid for at 15. Never went to a prom, never went to a dance, never had friends, that to go hang out with. I had to work full time. So for me,
adult. Wow.
Yeah, really early, and kind of did my own thing and just really paved the way. And that's where my mom showed me a lot of strength and a lot of tough love and to show up for myself, how to come to your own rescue. So that's what I did at a very young age. And here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
You learned very young to be your own superhero.
You had to. And people look at me and they say, oh, you must have had a great childhood. You talk about your mom and but yeah, because that's where I choose to focus. And I choose, and I've done the healing so I can focus on that and I can sit back with gratitude and appreciation. But it was a really bad road and I wouldn't go back. People like, oh, I wish I can go back at a certain point. Yeah, I wouldn't do any of that.
No.
Yeah, it was really bad and traumatic on many levels. And I saw many things I shouldn't have seen. But that's okay. And that helps me in my healing work. So when I tell people, hey, you have to do this, because this is what's going to take you to the other side, I've done it,
Yeah, you've been there. Yeah.
I walked the walk.
Mean, having to adult at 15, there must have been a ton of survival techniques that you acquired along the way.
Yes.
Just to get through the day, the week, the month. So healing from all that That's been quite a journey for you, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I remember getting paid $4 under the table at 15 at a pizzeria, making boxes and doing some prep. But yeah, it really teaches you how to harden yourself. I mean, you know, being able to, at age 16, buying your own car, doing everything, and paying a light bill, electric bill, buying your own food for that night, things like that, buying your own school clothes, your own toothpaste, your own toothbrush. You know, it really is humbling. I didn't have a childhood. So for me, it was like straight out there, you know, in the elements. And that's kind of where, when I help people, you know, it's so that they can help themselves. And that's what's impactful. And most people don't even know that about me. They've never heard that story. They have no idea. I told my wife one time, and she's like, and she sat there and started crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? And she's like, I'm so sad for you. And I'm like, don't be excited, because I wouldn't be who I am today without all of that. So.
Yes, you chose it. You used the word hardened. It had to have been so hard to chisel down those walls that you put up. Being fiercely independent is a trauma response.
Absolutely.
So, you know, for you, I would have never believed it either if I hadn't heard this story before. I would have never believed, meeting you, that there were concrete walls 12 inches thick built around you at some point, ever. You're so open, and what a testament to the healing that you've done.
And it's about the healing. Once you heal and you knock down your own walls and you do the DIY, next thing you know, you don't really care what people think. I embraced who I was. I owned it. I loved me. I appreciated me, and I really don't care. So I don't really need the walls, because my boundaries are set in place, and that's become the new coping mechanisms or trauma responses. If you start bringing negative into my world, you know, you're gone, and that's it. So I don't need walls, because, you know, I have neighborhood watch, kind of say, you know.
I love it. So I have a question for you. What
I have an answer.
That healing or your mother dying? Like, did you do that healing work prior to your mother dying or after?
Oh, that's a really good question. Really good question. So I started doing some healing work. I was dealing with really bad, a couple of years before she passed, severe anxiety, right? Massive anxiety, some depression. And again, it's everything that we hold back manifests into the physical, right? Our emotions and feelings manifest into the physical. So my body was having physical responses to the trauma I was suppressing. So I started doing some meditation. I started doing some visualization, affirmation. And then my mom passed. So it was kind of like the universe setting the stage, setting the scene for what was going to play out. And I started with a very kind of foundation. And then when she passed, oh my gosh, it was like, you know, I already had tools in place, you know.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then it started.
And okay, then it started. What is it? Tell our followers and our listeners, what is it?
So what it is for me was, we're all born intuitive, right? We're all born intuitive. They say from the time you're born through a certain point in adolescence, some say 7, I've seen 13, you know, really depends on your environment, social upbringing, religion, things like that, you know, experiences that take that veil that's very thin. I mean, you know, when kids talk to imaginary friends, they're talking to somebody. Or when they say, oh, I see grandpa, and grandpa's been dead for 15 years before they were even born, right? No, I know things. I see grandpa's here. They're there, right? But then society and our upbringing and our parents and religion put that veil to a comforter. you can't see anything like the hand in front of your face. And that's kind of how I was. I would see things, sense things. Nighttime was always the worst. And, you know, I learned to kind of shut that down. But it wasn't until I was 32 and my mom passed and my world got rocked. You know, my best friend, you know, the most important person in my life died. And I didn't know how this was going to happen. I didn't know, like, what do I do? Like, oh my gosh, my safety net in life is gone, right? It's all me. And so every morning I started talking to my mom, you know, and let's back up a little because I feel like people don't realize when they lose somebody, you know, really understand why the pain is there. It's not just because my mom's gone. What it was is I can't rely on my mom anymore. She's not going to be there to listen to me. She's not going to be there to help me move forward or give me the tough love or, you know, I can't make a car payment. She's going to be there, like whatever it was, right? So I had to understand my feelings and I allowed myself to feel everything. And then from that, because most people, they put it in the closet, they lock it away. Well, guess what? You're never dealing with it, right? So I sat in it and it was painful and it hurt and I cried and I was vulnerable, but I was by myself and I was allowed to. And then we would sit there and I would talk to my mom every morning, right? I was ironing my scrubs. I was in healthcare at the time and I'd iron my scrubs and I'd talk to her and I'd listen with my heart space, my heart. I felt her words. I felt her love. And I talked to her like she was here, like you and I are talking, you know, and because they are here. And I started to feel those responses and I started feeling the guidance that I needed, that I was scared that I wouldn't get. I started getting. And with intuition, the more you listen, the louder it gets. The more you allow, the more frequent it happens. And then next thing you know, I learned to live with her just differently.
Right.
That's it.
Wow.
It's that simple. Like we make it simple. I always tell people this. Anybody I work with, I mentor, even in big events, our connection to spirit, easy. This, hard.
Yes.
Easy, hard. The human experience is the hardest thing. We set ourselves up for sabotage every step of the way.
Amen. So true. So true. Woo. That needs to be a quote.
Write it down and when do you post it, Judy?
Exactly. That's going on a post-it. Now, another quote that caught us in the pre-show was because people are always talking about closure. You
Yes.
said you never have closure, you gain peace.
Absolutely.
And
Think
that-
about this, right? So think about this. Think about a loved one, right? We always say, I never had closure. So what you're telling me is that you want to close off that connection or that experience or that love from that person. And I said to you, Judy, if I ever closed the door on my mom, she would have kicked it open and beaten me with a wooden spoon. True fact, right? True fact. I've had more wooden spoons broken over my behind being an Italian Catholic, you know, upbringing my whole life. I could like plant like 1,000 different trees. Okay. But what I gained is peace of mind, peace of heart, because once you gain peace, now you can move past everything and start the healing process and learn you can have the relationship with them in your way that works for you. And that's the peace, right?
That's beautiful. And I think that's a great place for us to take our quick commercial break. And we'll be right back with more from Richard.
Yes.
And we're back. Be Here Now, the Peaceful Empowerment Work Show. We are here with Richard LaRocco, and he was just talking about how the loss of his mother helped him launch his spiritual awakening. And it wasn't about finding closure with his mother. It was about gaining peace and developing a whole new relationship with her from the other side. Now, I had to giggle. I told Janice and Richard in the pre-show meeting that when I was guided to make the topic today, finding peace and loss, I had to laugh because, yes, Richard found, peace in the loss of his mother, but Richard has also lost over 200 pounds. And on that journey, he has found peace as well. So we don't so much need to get into how you lost the weight, but what's the peace you found in that journey of loss?
Oh my gosh. So many takeaways from that. So, finding that I can come to my own rescue and live a life on my terms.
Yes.
What I mean is a lot of us go through life and it's Groundhog's Day. We're very complacent. We take what is given to us, we deal with it. It's kind of like, well, if there wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck, or it is what it is. And, I'm going to shake the dirt off and keep moving forward. But you're not living an authentic, happy life. And something simple as, we take simple things for granted, like tying your shoes, like being able to cross your legs when you're sitting there talking to somebody. Simple things we take for granted. And that's where it empowers you, not just because you're wearing different clothes or you're able to do this or whatever, but it gives you, you're coming to your own rescue. You're allowing yourself to heal, as this body, mind, spirit, because it's all the connection. It's all the connection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which I think is the perfect segue into your big announcement today.
So, a lot of what I've gone through trauma, through experience, through physical pain, it's all a transformation. And I've been doing this for 16 years. And what I did was I took a lot of my own experiences that I worked through, right? I sat in the nitty gritty. I sat in the dark, I know what it's like. And then it allowed me to start helping people through doing readings, and people that sit there and have had narcissistic parents that come through that have passed, and they're a mess and they can't even gain I remember I had one young lady and she says, she was early 70s. And she says, my grandmother was a narcissist, my mom, my husband, my kids. And then she started breaking down and sobbing and says, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm tired. I can't do it anymore. And I was like, wow, people that have lived their whole lives as a jail sentence. So I've taken all of the people that I've worked with and I've helped. And I started saying, mediumship is amazing, but there's so much more that has to be offered out there. So what I've done is designed, coaching to help people transform, whether it's transform themselves physically. And again, I'm not going to be like, meet you at the gym at 5 a.m. No, I'm not doing that. But helping people know that where thoughts go, energy flows, and they can help themselves and can heal themselves. They can be their own alchemists in body, mind, spirit. How to break through the traumas we hold on to, or why do we self-sabotage? Or one of the things, Janice mentioned earlier about even self-love, like not accepting love. That's something you hold on to. That's a trauma response, worth. I am not capable of, accepting this love. I don't believe it. Why? Because of what we went through, right? So learning how to return back to self, start embracing who you are through some transformational healing coaching. I've worked with businesses, transform their businesses, and they're like, well, what do? Do you just go in and tell them how to organize paperwork? No, change the culture, change the mindset, unlock everything. So I've applied everything I've gone through in my life in the last 16 years as a spiritual practitioner, traveling all over and having clients from all over the world, Mumbai, England, Australia, all over, and taking all of that and really helping people. So I've launched Hurting to Healing, coaching. It's more of really getting frontline, helping people heal themselves and get to where they want. We all want to be somebody, or we all want a different life or be doing something different, but we don't know how to get there. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to empower you. We're going to open it up to you with compassion, empathy, but yet accountability, and the support and the strength that my mom gave me, I'm going to give to others.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, my heart is dancing. You told us this stuff in the pregame, as I like to call it, but wow, you delivered it there and it went straight to the heart. What a message from one heart.
This is my passion. This is why I wake up every day. This is my universal seat on the bus, is to shine a light in the darkest place to show people there's a way out. I did it for me. I showed up for myself. I showed the light for me. And people, especially with things going on, and I mean, there's some, wars coming up and things going on in other countries, and this massive hurricane that's going to hit. And I've been in one. I've lost a townhouse. I've been in category 5s. Remember, coming from Florida, Fort Lauderdale. So I've been through Hurricane Andrew and Wilma and, others. And, it's devastating. Or people that have lived their whole life and aren't happy. They're just not happy. And how to do this? So we take from the average person who just wants to have a very healthy relationship, who wants to be loved or do some healing on whatever aspect. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help people more than they could ever help themselves. And that's why you got the goosebumps, because this is my passion and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that to me is so authentic, so real, so vulnerable, but it's so freaking amazing, because it's more than just mediumships. It's healing your heart and empowering you to take your first step.
Yeah, I keep hearing beyond the reading. It's beyond the reading.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I have people that say 1 hour with you is better than 5 to 10 years of therapy. Right. Because I go right for the heart, man. Spirit literally gives you the insight right here. Like, we cut the line at Disney. We got the bracelets. That's how it is. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. We cut the line at Disney. Yeah, that needs to be like your little slogan.
Well, I don't know. There could be some copyrights there, but there
could be some issues.
And that's how I teach. I teach a lot of transparency. Even when I teach mediumship and I mentor, because I develop working mediums. If you want to walk a spiritual path, I'm not just going to give you some generic stuff. No, we're going to dive in. Everything I do in a reading, spiritual practice, what I've learned, I teach. There are no secrets, because guess what? That's ego, right? There is no ego. The more I can empower people, body, mind, spirit, the better they are going to help others. And that's the true ripple effect.
Yeah. Because we truly are all one. We're all connected.
Yes, 100%.
Every time a person heals, an angel gets their wings. Whatever corny thing you want to say like that, but it's the truth, because it feeds more light into the collective. And quite honestly, I think that's why the world is such the shit show that it is right now, because you have to see the darkness before you can heal it.
Well, and that's universal law. There has to be law of balance, law of opposites, right? And a lot of what you talked about, Judy, we're all one, has been going on for thousands upon thousands of years. Think of the saying, namaste. The God in me salutes the God in you. Yep. Mayans had a saying, la kek a la kien, which is I am you, you are me. The Lakota, Mutakwasane. It's just all the same stuff, man. But we got to put ego aside. We got to heal ourselves so that we can create a heaven here on earth, and that we'll never have world peace because but we can be peaceful and share peace, and that's going to be the ripple effect.
Yes. I believe in my heart, if the ripple is big enough and spreads wide enough, there is a possibility for world peace. I like to hold on to that little glimmer of hope, because, right now what's going on with you, what you're going to roll out is amazing. The amount of people that you're going to touch and the amount of light and love and peace that's going to bring to the world, is limitless. So yes. For me, my core, I believe, and call me the unicorn or whatever you want to, but I believe when everybody jumps in, we all win. We all win.
I love it.
Yeah. So.
And it's true. And what Spirit kind of guided me to this, to do this, and also build a community of like-minded, healed individuals, because nothing is more powerful than healed, enlightened, aware people, right? Mm-hmm. So building a community of healed individuals moving in the same direction synergistically to achieve something, that's what's empowering. So we're going to have a lot of free classes every month. We're going to have free talks every month. We're going to have very affordable classes for people to start healing aspects of their life and so much more. But this is now going to be a real movement. This is not a Tony Robbins. This is like real stuff that's happening. Not that he's not, but this is achievable. This is achievable without spending $15,000, for a weekend seminar. This is real stuff to help people.
Sign me up. Sign me up. That sounds great.
That sounds amazing. So when is your website going live?
Actually, I posted it. I already shared it. So there's a lot more that's going to be added. It's hurting2healing.com. hurting2healingcoaching.com.
Okay.
I'm still doing readings. I'm still going to do mentorship as far as mediumship and as being a spiritual practitioner. But this is a bigger calling because so many people are just dealing with stuff they need to heal. And this is so much bigger than me. This is so much bigger than the audience. This is now like what's imperative.
Absolutely. And for those of you that are listening through podcast, we have a client testimony that is up on the screen, and it says, "I have peace like a river in my soul." These are the words that come to mind when I think about my time I spent with Richard. I have been struggling with a loss, and through Richard's gift, I have found a stillness in my heart. I felt a heaviness lifted from me and know that my loved one and I still have a life together. It's just different.
Yes.
So that sums it up right there. Now, we mentioned your radio show. You said that's on a break right now.
Yes.
So people can just stay tuned and find out. Are the shows recorded? Can people go back and listen to them, or strictly live?
Yes, absolutely. So, you can always go to LI News Talk Radio. You can look Guided by Spirit. They're still playing it. They're looking for sponsorship to keep the show going because, everything is an energy exchange, right? It takes money. So have this podcast going on, but follow me on social media. I'm going to be doing a lot more. Facebook has been kind of like ground level. I post a lot of inspirational things every day. I'm going to be doing a lot more. I have a lot going on. I've literally taken the last couple of months, listen to Spirit. I go walking every morning, probably 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm walking 7, 8, 9, 10,000 miles a day. And I'm doing walking meditation. Spirit's literally, boop, 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 boop. It's a total conversation. So everything that I'm doing has definitely been energetically driven, not guided by ego. So this is all going to be big stuff so people can follow it to help them in all aspects. Even if I needed to hear that today. I woke up unsure. I needed some strength. Thank you. Little things like that.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I follow you on social media. And the thing I love the most, if people have not picked up on it yet, Richard has an amazing sense of humor. He does not trip over anything to be the first one to laugh at himself. He has a great sense of humor. And I know for me, that helps me. People may be shocked, but I've had a wall or two built around me as well in my life. But laughter immediately helps bring me into that higher vibration. So that's one of the many that Richard.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Candor is really important, and most people don't know how to communicate or articulate because of their traumas or experiences. I was always, put down because of speaking my mind, or I wasn't able to speak or be my own person. And healing allowed me to be very open and honest with myself. I realized through boundaries that I'm going to raise my vibration no matter who's watching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be very honest and transparent. What you see is what you get. I don't change. If I'm in line at Costco and the line is slow, guess what? It's the same guy you get. I might be a little moody. Ask my wife. I'm a Scorpio. I'm moody. I'm kind of like, but I'm passionate. And it takes a lot of this, but the candor is very important, and the self-talk. So as I am with you, I am with myself. When this starts going, again, this is the hard part. Mm-hmm. When this starts going kind of dark, cancel clear, and I change it right away.
Cancel clear. Love it.
Cancel clear. That simple.
So if people want to get in touch with you, we went through the website. Sylveria, if you go to the next slide, this is the hurtingtohealcoaching.com. That's the new one that he's putting up. Just went live today.
Yes.
And Richard also has his www.richardlarocco.
Yes.
LAROCCO.com.
Goes to the same place.
Goes to the same place. Okay. And you have an event coming up. If anybody's local to the area, December 8th, you're going to be at Wilbur Tapestry Hilton in Lidditz, PA.
Oh my gosh. It was an old chocolate factory. The old Wilbur chocolate factory. So when you go in, exposed brick everywhere. It smells like milk chocolate. My hips and thighs love it. I love it. But it's going to be a great event. And we actually have a really special guest medium coming in from Western, kind of like outside by Chambersburg. Mm-hmm. She does paranormal investigation. She's a paranormal expert, but also uses her mediumship there. She's very heart-centered too, has walked the walk herself. Her name is Misty Summers, and she will be there. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, it's about 2 months away, and we are really almost kind of sold out. So, and I haven't even advertised it yet. So go on, get your tickets, because it is an amazing event.
Outstanding. All right, now, Janice, you want to give your non-profit
Sure.
speech?
I'm just speechless. I want more. But speaking of more, we are a nonprofit, and we do this because we love it. We don't get paid, but we do have expenses. We need to exchange that energy, as you say. Give us a donation. It's tax deductible. And you can go to our website, peacefulempowermentworks.org. Donate button on the top and at the bottom. If you donate at least $25, I'm happy to make you a t-shirt and give it to you. $50 more, you get a sweatshirt. And that's what I've got on today. And but you got to email me at peacefulempowermentworks@gmail.com so that I know you did it. And we'll send it out. And we appreciate anything, any energy you can pass our way if you're able to. Thank you.
Thank you. Richard, thank you so much for being here today. We'd love to have you back if you're willing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I got to tell the audience, please donate, because I've known Judy for several years, and she's on a mission to help people and bring awareness and healing in all modalities to everybody out there. So, I know she's just a beautiful heart, always has her projects are very heart-centered with intention. So whatever you can do to help. She's just an amazing purpose with a driven cause of just bringing awareness and helping and healing. So all my followers, please donate whatever you can, even if it's, sharing and liking their channels. It all adds up. It's all part of the collective and the unity.
Thank you very much. So
perfectly said. Perfectly said. Thank you.
We want to thank everybody for choosing to be here now with us. Please always remember,
you're not alone.
And don't ever forget, you are awesome. Catch you next time. Richard, thanks again so much.
Thank you, Richard. That was awesome.
Thank you, Silveria.